Hello and welcome back. Today's video is going to be another review. I feel like I've been pumping out these reviews lately, but there's been lots of new products I've been really excited about and excited to show you guys. So today we are testing out the Urban Decay Stones palette. I got on my gem jacket and I'm ready to go ahead and test this out. I haven't even opened it, so this is going to be like a first impressions review style video, so let's go ahead and jump in. Alright guys, so this is the brand new palette from Urban Decay. It's called their Stone Vibes palette, and I always get excited for Urban Decay's releases. I feel like they don't release palettes very often, so I think that that's something that kind of gets me excited for the releases, is that I never know like when they're going to come out with something or what they're going to come out with. So this is their brand new eyeshadow palette. I haven't pulled it out yet. I have seen it though, but look at how pretty. Oh my gosh. Okay. So here is the packaging. That is something that I feel like Urban Decay always does so well, is their packaging. This is raised, by the way, and textured. Look at how pretty. I feel like I had to wear this jacket just because it like matches so well. But so, okay, let's see a little bit about here. So Urban Decay did send this to me, just so you guys know. This is the Stone Vibes eyeshadow palette. It's $54. It says, put down the sage and pick up the vegan palette, packed with 12 all new crystal infused shades to block bad vibes and elevate your look. So this is available now as I'm filming this on Urban Decay and on Ulta. So I will have it linked down below in case you guys are interested. Woo! Okay, so the inside, look at how pretty she is. Oh my goodness, look at those like shimmers there. Wow, this is pretty. Let's get a closer look so you guys can see the texture of these shades. They have like this foiled look to them, like a very texture, very much goes with the like gem stone type of vibe. So we've got 12 shades all together, and then we do have a brush as well. So this looks like their typical brush that they put in like their naked palettes. So we'll be trying it out with the brush. Also, they sent over their eye primer with this as well. I have one already, so I'm not going to open that one. I'll save it for a giveaway, but I'm going to try it out with the eye primer as well. So let's go ahead, I think, and do some swatches really quick, and then I'll go ahead and start with trying it out on the eyes. I'm excited to swatch these and see how they look. Wow, I don't know what I was expecting, but I didn't think these shimmers would swatch so pretty, but whoo, these look gorgeous. Look at how pigmented these are. They definitely have like a shimmery jewel effect to them. So there are 4 different mattes, and then the rest of them are going to be shimmers in here. I will say that the 2 like purpley shades, like these 2 right here, they do look very, very similar swatch. Like this one here has like a hint more of like a pinky tone to it than this one, but they look pretty close. I'm very intrigued by this blue. I feel like that one is just absolutely gorgeous. So I'm excited to try this out on the eyes for sure. So let's go ahead and start. I'm going to prime my lids first, like I mentioned with the Potion primer. I don't use this a ton. It's not like a favorite. My camera just cut out on me. I'm not sure why it did that, but it's not something I feel like I need in my collection, but it's an okay primer. So I'm just going to go ahead and prep my lids with this. The reason I feel like I don't love this one as much as my other like primers or using like a concealer is I feel like it doesn't cancel out my redness like as much as I would like. So we got that on. Let's go ahead and try this out. So I am going to try the brush that came with it. I normally like these brushes. I feel like they're pretty good. They're not like my absolute favorite. They are a little bit stiff, but I do feel like they do the job. So let's go ahead and go into the shade Good Karma, which is this one right here. I'm going to just set this base down. I don't always do this, but with it having the shade in here, I am going to go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to set this in place. I did do my eyes first again because I wasn't sure with like fallout and everything how this palette would be. So we'll have to test that out, but just kind of setting that. So that's just kind of like your bone shade. And then I'm going to go into Antidote right here, this one, and we're going to use this shade in the crease. Urban Decay does their mattes really well. I always enjoy their matte formula. It's the shimmers for me that always have like, I just can never decide. Sometimes I love their shimmers, and then other times I feel like they're a little lackluster. Like the Naked palettes, they have more of like a sheer type of shimmer that I feel like you have to kind of build up and get your brush wet and everything like that. But then they have other palettes like the Born to Run palette that has shimmers in there that are super pigmented, really foiled. So it just kind of depends on what your preference is and kind of like what you go for in your shimmers. But for me, I love something that has a little bit more of a punch to it. So for me, I enjoy the more foiled formula. So that's why I'm kind of curious to see this one. Looking at the swatches though, I think that this one's going to be really pigmented. So this shade right here is Blending Okay. I feel like this is a shade that they have a lot in their palettes, kind of like this nude color. it does work well as like a first color to go in with. And then we're going to go ahead and move into the shade Hexed right here. There's not really a ton of variety here when it comes to the mattes that are in this palette, so I feel like you're going to be pretty limited to kind of like this orangey type of vibe as your base if you are going to keep with this palette as your only palette. But I do think that these shimmers are probably going to be unique enough to where you could go in and use this kind of more as like a topper palette, or one that you could just go into for like the one shade. So these shades seem to be blending out pretty nicely so far. It's definitely, like I said, pretty orangey though. Like I feel like you're going to get the same sort of look with the mattes in this palette, just because there is only a couple of mattes. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and try out the shade Third Eye as well. This one does look like it has a little bit of glitter reflex in it, so keep that in mind. The other ones look pretty matte, but this one looks almost more like a satin shade. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this shade into the crease as well, just to deepen it up a tiny bit more. I'm kind of someone who loves my mattes, so I don't necessarily love that there's so many shimmers, but I feel like it also makes sense for this palette and like the vibe. Obviously these shimmers are meant to be like the star of the show, so I feel like that does kind of make sense, and I'm okay with it every once in a while. I just don't love like full palettes of shimmer. You could definitely use the shimmers in your crease as well. I'm someone who does that sometimes too, but I prefer mattes in my crease, so I feel like we'll try a couple of the shimmer shades as well. I kind of wanted to just work with the mattes a tiny bit, but I think I'm going to try at least a few of the shimmer shades. So I'm kind of being a little messy with the outer corner. I did this in my other video for my pumpkin spice, and you guys kind of saw what I did. I just used the makeup wipe and kind of clean it up a little bit, so it does look a little bit messy. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to go back into the shade Good Karma, that first shade we went in with, and actually work that a little bit up here just to kind of help blend a little bit further. Okay, now let's go ahead and play in the shimmer shades. So I want to go in with Opal Aura right here, and I also want to try this blue. I want to try the purples. Like, I want to try them all, but I'm going to go in with Opal Aura first, and I'm just going to pick this up on this brush. I'm going to assume it's not going to work though. Yeah, I feel like these shades you need your finger for. They just work best that way. They're going to work best that way. So I'm going to put this on down on my lid. Ooh, that is pretty. It definitely is quite foiled. Wow, that is pretty. It's very, very pigmented for sure. All right, working a little more, and then we're going to go ahead and move into the other shades. All right, so for the next color, I am going to go into the shade Ojo right here, and I'm going to use this because I'm just too excited about this one. It is like a really pretty blue shade, and I just want to use this because I think it's gorgeous. Wow, that one is pigmented. Oh my gosh, so pretty. These kind of remind me a little bit of like Huda Beauty has this type of pan that's kind of like a swirl almost. Like, it looks like a chunky glitter, but when you apply it, it's just a shimmer. I feel like quite a few brands are doing this lately, but I'm here for it. I love a good bright shimmer. I think it's so pretty, and this one definitely doesn't disappoint. This is a really gorgeous blue. All right, so now I got to play with one of these purples. I think I'm going to go into the shade Raw Energy right here, and I'm going to use this shade on the end here. This one doesn't seem to have like as much. It's more of like a duochrome. It kind of has like a little bit of like a green shift to it almost. Still pretty though. I kind of like it, but it's not as pigmented as the other shades. In my opinion, I feel like it has a little bit more of a shift to it. I think I'm going to add still, kind of make this like more of a halo. I'm going to go back into Opal Aura and add a little bit of that just on top, just so it kind of blends a little bit better. I don't know, I don't feel like they're layering very well. Like, this shade doesn't seem to be as pigmented once I put it on over the other one. I want to kind of keep tapping that. It's a little bit better. Okay, so now that we got that shade on, I think I'm going to take my makeup wipe and just clean this up a smidge. Kind of just do this with the makeup wipe just to kind of give it a little bit more shape. And then we're going to go in and do the lower lash line. I think I want to try one of the greens. Like, I think I want to try the shade Jade for the lower lash line. To me, it just makes sense that we use this eyeliner. So this is in Overdrive. It's a green liner, and I am going to use this just in my waterline. And then we're going to go ahead and go in with the shade Jade. All right, so picking up the brush it came with, we're just going to go into the shade Jade, and I'm just going to work that shade onto my lower lash line. I'm going to have to do a little bit more, I think, once I put my other makeup on, but I kind of want to see how this looks. down here on the lower lash line just for something a little bit fun. You can see the reflect there. I love how glittery this eye look is looking. I think it's so fun. So here's that shade. I think this one would be really pretty all over the lid too. I don't know what it is, but like greens lately have just been so pretty to me. I'm just like, I want all the green eyeshadow. But I still love my blues, so I had to use the blues. But so far, I'm kind of loving this. It looks fun. It's like something different. I feel like it's a vibe. Let me know what you guys think. I think we need to add lashes just to make it more cohesive. So I'm going to do my base makeup. I'm going to add some lashes, and then I'll be back to give you guys my final thoughts on the palette. Okay, so we are back after applying our lashes. I went pretty dramatic. I'm wearing the Lily Lashes in Mykonos, and I finished the rest of my base makeup. I'll have everything linked down below in case you are interested. I kind of want to do an inner corner highlight, so I am going to go into the shade Vibes right here and use that for my inner corner. I feel like we need just like a little something there. See if we can't put that right on the inner corner, just like a hint of like a pinky purple. Yeah, that's what we needed. We just needed like a little something. After that, I feel like I love how like open that made the eye. Let's give it a little something extra. I feel like we used a lot of shades in the palette, so I ended up using almost all of them. The only one I didn't use is Bloodstone right here, and I didn't use this one right here, but aside from that, I used everything else. So all in all, sorry, this lash is like poking me in the eye. I feel like this palette is very on brand for Urban Decay. It's something a little more edgy, something more fun. Again, packaging is absolutely gorgeous on this one. I do think it's a nice formula. I love the shimmers. I think they're very foiled, very pretty. I like the eye look I came up with. I can't wait to try out the rest of the colors in here and see what other like color combinations I can come up with. I do think though $54 is a little bit pricey. I know Urban Decay is a little bit more of a pricier brand, but I do think it's kind of pricey for what you're getting as far as like shade wise, but packaging and everything is very luxe, so I feel like you're kind of paying that for that price as well. But all in all, I think this palette is great. I would definitely recommend it if you are in the market for something like this. But thank you so much for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Comment down below and let me know what you think of this eye look. Kind of fun, something different. I had to put on my gem jacket, but I'm so uncomfortable. This is literally like the tightest jacket of life. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of this, but thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you are new, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye friends.